Today, we analyze the perfect storm that has wreaked havoc on Ajax and explore how this Dutch giant fell from grace. Almost all European football leagues have that one or two giants that consistently dominate the league. But in the Netherlands, a giant has fallen. Last year, Ajax, a club accustomed to success, faced the harsh reality of finishing third in the league and missing out on Champions League football for the first time in 14 years. And this year, it only got worse. They are now merely a shadow of that team that failed to secure a place in the Champions League, as they sit in a humiliating 14th place on the table. But it was on 24th of September that things took a drastic turn for the worse, as Ajax found themselves trailing 3-0 at home against defending champions, Feyenoord. Chaos erupted. Flares were thrown onto the pitch, and the match came to a standstill amidst the growing anger of the fans. The angry mob even stormed the club's office in search of answers for their beloved club's dismal performance. Ajax's descent into chaos began in February 2022 with a scandal involving their director of football, Mark Overmars. His inappropriate messages to female staff members came to light, leading to his resignation. This incident dealt a significant blow to the club's image and stability. Overmars stated, "Unfortunately, I didn't realize that I was crossing the line, but that was made clear to me in recent days. I suddenly felt enormous pressure. I apologize. Certainly, for someone in my position, this behavior is unacceptable. I now see that too, but it is too late. I see no other option but to leave Ajax." The second big hit to Ajax came in April, after they lost another crucial part of their success, manager Erik ten Hag, that left Ajax for Manchester United and passed the torch to his assistant, Schreuder. Schreuder must have felt confident after Ten Hag's words of encouragement in his farewell interview. Schreuder has the advantage that he's familiar with the club. He was there from the start. That's a huge advantage, and he knows what to expect. A foundation has been laid that he can use to expand upon. But what seemed like a seamless transition turned out to be anything but. And with these two departures, Ajax did exactly the opposite and built the foundation for their inevitable downfall. And it was on these foundations that Ajax built their house of cards. Talks with the only candidate they had for the director of football position, Alex Kroos, fell apart after Schreuder's appointment was announced without consulting Kroos, who didn't believe Schreuder was the right man for the job. As a result, Ajax entrusted Klaas-Jan Huntelaar and Gerry Hamstra, Overmars' assistant, with recruitment responsibilities. They can't be blamed for a lack of effort, but their lack of experience and expertise became evident really quickly. Do you think things would be different if Ajax didn't get Schreuder and chose to trust Alex Kroos? Meanwhile, the departure of Ten Hag created chaos in the dressing room, leading to key players like Antony and Lisandro Martinez seeking moves to Manchester United. On top of the four key players Ajax had already lost in that transfer window, Ajax were now left in a painful position. Off the field, they were in shambles as the new dual directors were struggling to deal with what was happening. And on the field, they were left without their manager and several crucial players. So that's how Schreuder was left with a shell-shocked skeleton of a team that Ten Hag had the year before. But his lack of leadership and composure only made things worse for them in the first half of the season. Ajax had a decent start, winning their first 5 games. But a 7-game winless streak from November to January derailed their campaign. Schreuder blamed the dual directors for the team's poor performances, deepening the internal strife at the club, as the team's morale hit rock bottom. There were reports that the player had lost faith in Schreuder. One report said that the players' council met and the mental coach Joost Lenders asked the players if they did not believe in the existing group. Most players answered by raising a hand. Ajax responded by sacking Schreuder and appointing Heitinga as the manager. Heitinga brought in Ludwiges as an experienced figure to assist him and managed to end the winless streak 4-1 at Excelsior and then beating Cambuur 5-0 in the next match. Club captain Dusan Tadic said, "He is a real Ajax player and the fans love him. He has a lot of energy and enthusiasm. He is very clear with the players and that is good. He is a child of Ajax. It's not my choice, but the first impression is great, and I think he has the qualities to be the Ajax manager." But the fans were still bitter about everything that happened on and off the pitch during that hard season. Heitinga was not able to recover the season, and Ajax decided not to retain him for the next season. Ajax fans hoped for a fresh start. They could get a real coach and a real director of football, and maybe even a few players that will take them back to where they belong. Instead, they brought in Sven Mislintat as the director, who then filled the club with players that aren't half as good as the ones they lost. And they brought in Maurice Stein as the head coach. A coach who has no experience in managing large egos and large clubs like Ajax. On top of that, Ajax decided to let Dusan Tadic and Klaassen go for free, sell two of their crucial players to West Ham, as well as sell Timber, Basie and Darami, while not getting real replacements for the problems they had before. I like Šutalo, but you can't expect from him to consistently perform at Champions League level, and the fact that he was Ajax's most expensive signing this season, for 20.5 million, isn't a promising sign for Ajax supporters. Other notable signings were Gorges from Metz for 16 million, Gaston from Antwerp for 12.5, Akpom from Middlesbrough for 12.3 and Borna Sosa from Stuttgart for 10 million. These signings are okay, but they were not promising, and the overall transfer strategy left supporters wondering what will happen to the team in the new season. Ajax's season started with promise, but their form quickly dipped, earning just 5 points from their first 5 league games. It's something that could be expected if you take into consideration everything that happened in the lead up to the season. The breaking point came in the derby against Feyenoord. Ajax went 3-0 down at home and the fans have had enough. The same fans we all know from the incredible atmosphere they create inside and outside the Amsterdam Stadium. The scenes from September 24th led to the departure of Sven Mislintat as director of football. Who will be the next person out the door for Ajax? And who would you like to see replace Mislintat as the director of football? Because it certainly can't fall back to Huntelaar and Overmar's assistant. Over a year has passed since Ajax's problems began, and they are still without a director of football, a head coach, or a cohesive team that plays with heart and passion. The fall from grace, marked by internal strife, leadership crisis, and questionable transfers, serve as a stark reminder of how fragile the fortunes of even the most revered football giants can be. The road to recovery appears challenging, and we will see if the players, owners, and club staff will use this latest incident as a wake-up call, or will they just fall deeper in the hole they dug for themselves. However, it's important to remember that Ajax's story is far from over. The resilience ingrained in the club's DNA, the passionate support of its fans, and the raw talent that still resides within the team offers a glimmer of hope. While the road to recovery may be long and hard, Ajax has the potential to rise from the ashes and re-establish itself as a force to be reckoned with. We eagerly await the next chapter in Ajax's rich history. Will they emerge from this tumultuous period stronger and more determined than ever? Only time will tell.